One of the basic pieces of furniture. A chair is a type of seat. Its primary features are two pieces of a durable material attached as a back and a seat to one another at a 90-degree or slightly greater angle, with usually the four corners of the horizontal seat attached in turn to four legs, or other parts of the seat's underside attached to three legs or to a shaft about which a four-armed turnstile and rollers can turn. Strong enough to support the weight of a person who sits on the seat, usually wide and broad enough to hold down the lower body from the buttocks almost to the knees, and leans against the vertical back, usually high and wide enough to support the back to the shoulder blades. The legs are typically high enough for the seated person's thighs and knees to form a 90-degree or lesser angle. Used in a number of rooms and homes, e.g. in living rooms, dining rooms, and dens, in schools and offices, with desks, and in various other workplaces, chairs may be made of wood, metal, or synthetic materials, and either the seat alone or the entire chair may be padded or upholstered in various colors and fabrics. Chairs vary in design. An armchair has armrests fixed to the seat. A recliner is upholstered, and under its seat is a mechanism that allows one to lower the chair's back and raise into place a fold-out footrest. A rocking chair has legs fixed to two long curved slats, and a wheelchair has wheels fixed to an axis under the seat. History. The chair has been used since antiquity, although for many centuries it was a symbolic article of state and dignity rather than an article for ordinary use. The chair is still used as the emblem of authority in the House of Commons in the United Kingdom and Canada, and in many other settings, in keeping with the historical connotation as the chair as the symbol of authority. Committees, boards of directors, and academic departments all have a chairman or chair. Endowed professorships are referred to as chairs. It was not until the 16th century that chairs became common. Until then, people sat on chests, benches, and stools, which were the ordinary seats of everyday life. The number of chairs which have survived from an earlier date is exceedingly limited. Most examples are ecclesiastical, seigneurial, or feudal origin. Chairs were in existence since at least the early dynastic period of Egypt, 3100 BC. They were covered with cloth or leather, were made of carved wood, and were much lower than today's chairs. Chair seats were sometimes only 10 inches, 25 centimeters, high. In ancient Egypt, chairs appear to have been of great richness and splendor. Fashioned of ebony and ivory, or of carved and gilded wood, they were covered with costly materials, magnificent patterns, and supported upon representations of the legs of beasts or the figures of captives. Generally speaking, the higher ranked an individual was, the taller and more sumptuous the chair he sat on, and the greater the honor. On state occasions, the pharaoh sat on a throne, often with a little footstool in front of it. The average Egyptian family seldom had chairs, and if they did, it was usually only the master of the household who sat on a chair. Among the better off, the chairs might be painted to look like the ornate, inlaid, and carved chairs of the rich, but the craftsmanship was usually poor. The earliest images of chairs in China are from 6th century Buddhist murals in steel, but the practice of sitting in chairs at that time was rare. It wasn't until the 12th century that chairs became widespread in China. Scholars disagree on the reasons for the adoption of the chair. The most common theories are that the chair was an outgrowth of indigenous Chinese furniture, that it evolved from a camp stool imported from Central Asia that was introduced to China by Christian missionaries in the 7th century, and that the chair came to China from India as a form of Buddhist monastic furniture. In modern China, unlike Korea or Japan, it is no longer common to sit at floor level. In Europe, it was owing in great measure to the Renaissance that the chair ceased to be a privilege of the state and became a standard item of furniture for anyone who could buy it. Once the idea of privilege faded, the chair speedily came into general use. Almost at once, the chair began to change every few years to reflect the fashions of the day. Thomas Edward Bowditch visited the main palace of the Ashanti Empire in 1809 and observed chairs engrossed with gold in the empire. In the 1880s, chairs became more common in American households, and usually there was a chair provided for every family member to sit down to dinner. By 1830s, factory manufactured fancy chairs like those by Sears, Roebuck & Co., and allowed families to purchase maintained sets. With the Industrial Revolution, chairs became much more available. The 20th century saw an increasing use of technology in chair construction with such things as all-metal folding chairs, metal-legged chairs, the slumber chair, molded plastic chairs, and ergonomic chairs. The recliner became a popular form, at least in part due to radio and television. The modern movement of the 1960s produced new forms of chairs: the butterfly chair, originally called the hardway chair, beanbags, and the egg-shaped pod chair that turns. It also introduced the first mass-produced plastic chairs, such as the Bowfinger chair in 1966. Technological advances led to molded plywood and wood laminate chairs, as well as chairs made of leather or polymers. Mechanical technology incorporated into the chair enabled adjustable chairs, especially for office use. Motors embedded in the chair resulted in massage chairs. Materials. Chairs can be made from wood, metal, or other strong materials, like stone or acrylic. In some cases, the multiple materials are used to construct a chair. For example, the legs and frame may be made from metal, and the seat may be made from plastic. Chairs may have hard surfaces of wood, metal, plastic, or other materials, or all of these hard surfaces may be covered with upholstery or padding. The design may be of porous materials or be drilled with holes for decoration. A low back or gaps can provide ventilation. The back may extend above the height of the occupant's head, which can originally contain a headrest. Chairs can also be made from more creative materials, such as recycled materials like cutlery and wooden play bricks, pencils, plumbing tubes, rope, corrugated cardboard, and PVC pipe. In rare cases, chairs are made from unusual materials, especially as a form of art or experimentation. Raimund Cyrilius, a Latvian interior designer, created a volcano hanging chair that is handmade out of volcanic rock. Peter Brenner, a Dutch-born German designer, has created a chair made from lollipop sugar, 60 pounds, 27 kilograms of confectioner's sugar. Chair designs considers intended usage, ergonomics, as well as non-ergonomic functional requirements, such as size, stacking ability, folding ability, weight, durability, stain resistance, and artistic design. Intended usage determines the desired seating position. Task chairs, or any chair intended for people to work at a desk or table, including dining chairs, can only recline very slightly. Otherwise, the occupant is too far away from the desk or table. Dental chairs are necessarily reclined. Easy chairs for watching television or movies are somewhere in between, depending on the height of the screen. Ergonomic design distributes the weight of the occupant to various parts of the body. A seat that is higher results in dangling feet and increased pressure on the underside of the knees. Popliteal fold. It may also result in no body weight on the feet, which means more weight elsewhere. A lower seat may shift too much weight to the seat bones. A reclining seat and back will shift weight to the occupant's back. This may be more comfortable for some in reducing weight on the seat area, but may be problematic for others who have bad backs. In general, if the occupant is supposed to sit for a long time, weight needs to be taken off of the seat area, and thus easy chairs intended for long periods of sitting are generally at least slightly reclined. However, reclining may not be suitable for chairs intended for work or eating at a table. The back of the chair will support some of the weight of the occupant, reducing the weight on other parts of the body. In general, backrests come in 3 heights. Lower backrests support only the lumbar region. Shoulder height backrests support the entire back and shoulders. Headrests support the head as well as the important parts of vehicles for preventing whiplash, neck injuries, and rear-end collisions where the head is jerked back suddenly. Reclining chairs typically have at least shoulder height backrests to shift weight to the shoulders instead of just the lower back. Some chairs have footrests. Around 15% of women and 2% of men need footrests, even at the 16-inch chair height. A stool or other simple chair may have a simple straight or curved bar near the bottom of the sitter to place their feet on. Some chairs have 2 curved bands of wood, also known as rockers, attached to the bottom of the legs. They are called rocking chairs. A kneeling chair adds an additional body part, the knees, to support the weight of the body. A sit-stand chair distributes most of the weight of the occupant to the feet. Many chairs are padded or have cushions. Padding can be on the seat of the chair only, on the seat in the back, or also on any armrest or footrest the chair may have. Padding will not shift the weight to the different parts of the body, unless the chair is so soft that the shape is altered. However, padding does distribute the weight by increasing the area of contact between the chair and the body. A hardwood chair feels hard because the contact point between the occupant and the chair is small. The same body weight over a smaller area means greater pressure on that area. Spreading the area reduces the pressure at any given point. In lieu of padding, flexible materials such as wicker may be used with similar effects of distributing the weight. Since most of the body weight is supported on the back of the seat, padding there should be firmer than the front of the seat, which only has the weight of the legs to support. Chairs that have padding that is the same density front and back will feel soft in the back area and hard to the underside of the knees. There may be cases where padding is not desirable, such as chairs that are intended primarily for outdoor use. Where padding is not desirable, contouring may be used instead. A contoured seat pan attempts to distribute weight without padding. By matching the seat shape of the occupant's buttocks, weight is distributed and maximum pressure is reduced. Actual chair dimensions are determined by measurements of the human body or anthropomorphic measurements. The two most relevant anthropomorphic measurement for chair device is the popliteal height and the buttock popliteal length. For someone seated, the popliteal height is the distance from the underside of the foot to the underside of the thigh at the knees. It is sometimes called the stool height. The term sitting height is reserved for the height to the top of the head when seated. For American men, the median popliteal height is 16.3 inches, 410 millimeters, and for American women is 15.0 inches, 380 millimeters. The popliteal height, after adjusting for heels, clothing, and other issues, is used to determine the height of the chair seat. Mass-produced chairs are typically 17 inches, 433 millimeters high. For somebody seated, this buttock popliteal length is the horizontal distance from the backmost part of the buttocks to the back of the lower leg. This anthropomorphic measurement is used to determine the seat depth. Mass-produced chairs are typically 15 to 17 inches, 38 to 43 centimeters deep. Additional anthropomorphic measurements may be relevant to designing a chair. Research has shown that the best seated posture is a reclined posture of 100 degrees to 110 degrees. Hip breadth is used for chair width and armrest width. Elbow rest height is used to determine the height of the armrests. The buttock knee length is used to determine leg room between rows of chairs. Seat pitch is the distance between rows of seats. In some airplanes and stadiums, the leg room, the seat pitch less the thickness of the seat at thigh level, is so small that it's sometimes insufficient for the average person. For adjustable chairs, such as an office chair, the aforementioned principles are applied in adjusting the chair to the individual occupant. Caster wheels are attached to the feet of chairs to give more mobility. Gas springs are attached to the body of the chair in order to give height adjustment and more comfort to the user. Armrests. A chair may or may not have armrests. Chairs with armrests are termed armchairs. In French, a distinction is made between fauteuil and chaise, the terms for chairs with and without armrests, respectively. In Germany, an armchair was once called a Krankensessel, or a sick chair, because it was intended for people who are too ill to stand or sit without extra support. If present, armrests will support part of the body weight through the arms if the arms are resting on the armrests. Armrests further have the function of making entry and exit from the chair easier, but from the side it becomes more difficult. Armrests should support the forearm and not the sensible elbow area. Hence, in some chair designs, the arm rest is not continuous to the chair back, but is missing in the elbow area. Cockfighting chair. The curiously named cockfighting chair has nothing to do with that sport. It is properly a library or study chair. It has two broad armrests extending from the back to form a yoke. Designed for use with a desk, it is broad in front but curving inward to embrace the user. This seat was shaped so that a reader could easily sit astride, facing the desk at the back of the chair and resting his arms on the ends of the yoke. Despite its popular name, the origin of which is obscure, a sketch made in 1741 by a Lancaster firm founded by Robert Gillow 1703 to 1772 indicates its original design purpose. Seats. Chair seats vary widely in construction and may or may not match construction of the chair's backrest. Some systems include center seats, where a solid material forms the chair seat. Solid wood may or may not be shaped to human contours. Wood slats, often seen on outdoor chairs. Padded leather, generally a flat wood base covered in padding and contained in soft leather. Stuffed fabric, similar to padded leather. Wood slats, often seen on outdoor chairs. Padded leather, generally a flat wood base covered in contained in soft leather. Stuffed fabric, similar to padded leather. Metal seats of solid or open design. Molded plastic. Stone, often marble. Open center seats where a soft material is attached to the tops of chair legs or between stretchers to form the seat. Wicker, woven to provide a surface with give to it. Leather, may be tooled with a design. Fabric, simple covering without support. Tape, wide fabric tape woven into seat, seen in lawn chairs and some old chairs. Caning. Rush, wrapped from rush, heavy paper, strong grasses, or hand twisted while wrapped with cattails to form the seat, usually in a pattern of 4 trapezoids meeting in the center and on rare occasions in elaborate patterns. Reed, rawhide. Splint, ash, oak, or hickory strips are woven. Metal mesh, or wire woven to form a seat. Standards and specifications. Design considerations for chairs have been codified into standards. ISO 9241, Ergonomic Requirements for Office Work with Visual Display Terminals, VDTs, Part 5, Workstation Layout and Postural Requirements, is the most common one for modern chair design. There are multiple specific standards for different types of chairs. Dental chairs are specified by ISO 6875. Beanbag chairs are specified by ANSI standard ASTM F19298. ISO 7174 specifies stability of rocking and tilting chairs. ASTM F185898 specifies plastic lawn chairs. ASTM E1822-02B defines the combustibility of chairs when they are stacked. The Business and Institutional Furniture Adventure Manufacturers Association, BIFMA, defines ANSI/BIFMA X 5.1 titled General Purpose Office Chairs. Tests. For testing of commercial grade chairs, it specifies things like chair back strength of 150 pounds, 68 kilograms, chair stability if weight is transferred completely to the front or back legs, leg strength of 75 pounds, 34 kilograms, applied to 1 inch, 25 millimeters from the bottom of the leg. Seat strength of 225 pounds, 102 kilograms dropped from 6 inches, 150 millimeters above the seat. Seat cycle strength of 100,000 repetitions of 125 pounds, 57 kilograms, dropped from 2 inches, 51 millimeters above the seat. The specification further defines heavier proof loads that chairs must withstand. Under these higher loads, the chair may be damaged, but it must not fail catastrophically. Large institutions that make bulk purchases will reference these standards within their own, even more detailed criteria for purchase. Governments will often issue standards for purchases made by governmental agencies, e.g., Canada's Canadian General Standard Board, CAN, CGSB 441.5M. On straight stacking chairs, steel, or CAN CGSB 44.232-2002 on task chairs for office work with visual display terminal. Chairs may be rated by the length of time that they may be used comfortably, an 8-hour chair, a 24-hour chair, and so on. Such chairs are specified for tasks which require extended periods of sitting, such as for receptionists or supervisors of a control panel. Accessories. In place of a built-in footrest, some chairs come with a matching ottoman. An ottoman is a short stool that is intended to be used as a footrest, but can sometimes be used as a stool. If matched to a glider chair, the ottoman may be mounted on swing arms, so the ottoman rocks back and forth with the main glider. A chair cover is a temporary fabric cover for a side chair. They are typically rented for formal events, such as wedding receptions, to increase the attractiveness of the chairs and decor. The chair covers may come with decorative chair ties, a ribbon to be tied as the bow behind the chair. Cover for sofas and couches are also available for homes with small children and pets. In the second half of the 20th century, some people could use custom clear plastic covers for expensive sofas and chairs to protect them. Chair pads are cushions for chairs. They contain cloth or foam for padding. Some are decorative. In chairs, they may be used to increase the height of the driver. Orthopedic backrests provide support for the back. Car seats sometimes have built-in and adjustable lumbar supports. These can be used on kitchen chairs. Chair mats are mats meant to cover different types of floorings. They are usually made from plastic. This allows chairs on wheels to roll easily over the carpet and protects the carpeter floor. They come in various shapes, some specifically sized to fit partially under a desk. Remote control bags can be draped over the arm of easy chairs or sofas and used to hold the remote control for home cinemas. They are counterweighted so as not to slide off the arms under the weight of remote controls. Chair glides are attached to the feet of chairs to prevent them from scratching or snagging on the floor. An anti-macassar is a cloth covering for a headrest to protect the fabric and enable easy washing. As sculptural and art forms, the broken chair is a monumental sculpture in wood constructing of 5.5 tons of wood, 12 meters, 39 feet high, standing across the street from the Palace of Nations in Geneva. It has a broken leg symbolizing the opposition to landmines and cluster bombs. In 2001, Steve Mann exhibited a chair sculpture at San Francisco Art Institute. The chair had spikes that retracted when a credit card was inserted to download a seating license. Later, other museums and galleries were equipped with a pay-to-sit chair, with a global central seating license server located in Toronto. The first sitting session was free, with a database of persons who had already used their free session. In a performance piece at the 2012 Republic Political Convention, Clint Eastwood addressed an empty chair as if it represented President Barack Obama, meant to be construed as missing in action or ineffectual. The address was controversial, whether it was poignant or bizarre. Japanese designer Toki Yoshi Oka has created several chairs as art forms such as Honey Pop, Honeycomb Paper Chair 2001, Pain Chair, Natural Fiber Chair 2006, Venus, Natural Crystal Chair 2007. New York industrial designer Ian Stell creates steel and wood kinetic sculptures that transform into chairs, including Roll Bottom Chair 2016 that turns into a secretariat, desk, and loop that transforms it into two interlocking chairs when expanded. In language, if somebody nearly fell off their chair after being informed about something, it was because they were very shocked or surprised. An orchestra awards the best player in a particular session a chair, or principal seat, based on ability. The first chair of the section plays the solos, and in string sections determines the bowings. In professional orchestra, the first chair player receives higher pay. It is also common for this position to be known as first stand, a reference to the portable lectern on which the musicians pull their sheet music. However, the first person who is first chair in the first violin section is usually referred to as the concert master in the US, or the leader in the UK. In academia, an endowed chair is a prestigious appointment for a professor, paid for by a dedicated funding source. A chair is the highest officer of an organized group, such as chair of the board, the head of the board of directors in a company or non-profit organization. Musical chairs is a common party game and a colloquial expression to describe people shuffling from seat to seat around different locations or from one job title to another. In American slang, to say somebody will get the chair is to say that they will be executed by an electric chair. Alternatively, it can be a metaphor for other harsh punishment. See also, list of chair for an extended list types such as the lift chair, papasan chair, swivel chair, chair pose, chair squat, writing like sitting, seating assignment, splat, furniture, the central vertical element of a wooden chair back. List of chairs. The following is a partial list of chair types with internal or external cross-references about most of the chairs. 10 Downing Street guard chairs, 2 antique chairs used by guards in the early 19th century. 44 stacking chair, designed by David Rowland, 1964. Alto armchair 406, designed by Oliver Alto in 1938. IKEA sells a similar design as the Poang lounge chair. Adinarak Undak chair, a non-adjustable wooden outdoor lounge chair. Arion chair, an ergonomic trademarked chair. Air chair, a lightweight molded chair designed by Jasper Morrison. Armchair, has armrests for comfort, couches, sofas, etc. Bachelor's chair, dates from the 18th century and converts into a step-stool, ladder, or ironing board. Ballon's chair, designed by the Norwegian furniture designer Peter Opsvik in 1979, is the original kneeling chair design. Ball chair, designed by Finnish furniture designer Eero Arnio in 1963. Bar stool, tall, narrow stool designed for seating at a bar or counter. Barcelona chair, proprietary chair designed in 1929 by the German architect Ludwig Mainz von der Rohe and widely copied since, characterized by leather upholstery, an angled seat and back without armrests, and X-shaped steel legs. Bardic chair, a custom chair built every year for the winner of an Aldol poetry contest in Wales. Barrel chair, has high round back and like half a barrel, large and upholstered. Bath chair, light carriage on wheels with a folding hood for outdoor transport, often used by invalids. Beach chair, designed to provide comfort and protection from sun, wind, rain, and sand on beaches frequented by tourists. Beanbag chair, the first beanbag chair developed is Sacco, designed in 1968 by the Italian designers Piero Gatti, Cesare Palloni, Franco Teodoro. Bench, a simple, often backless device, typically for more than one person to sit on, often refers to a simple longer table or similar long flat surfaces to place things or work on. Bergère, upholstered chair introduced in Régence Rococo period in France in the 17th century. Bikini chair, designed by an architect Wendell Levet in 1949 and first exhibited in 10th Triennale di Milano in 1954, made of metal, molded plastic, and leather, featured in the magazine Domus February. Bowfinger chair, first chair worldwide in fiberglass reinforced polyester to be produced in one single process over a steel mold, considered a classic of modern furniture design history. Bosun's chair, a device used to suspend a person from rope to perform work aloft. Brewer chair, designed by Marcel Brewer, distinguished by a cantilevered design, steel tubular frame, and caning. Brewster chair, a style of upright, turned wooden armchair made in the mid-17th century in the New England, named after Pilgrim and colonial leader William Brewster of Plymouth, Massachusetts. Bubble chair, designed by Eero Arnio in 1968 in Finland, a modernist classic. Bungee chair, any chair which incorporates bungee cords as a primary material. Butterfly chair, designed in 1938 by Bonet Coutran in Ferrari Hardoi, Argentina. A light folding metal frame with a large cloth or leather sling hung from the frame's four high plates. Campeche chair, a 19th century Mexican lounge chair popular in Latin America, the Caribbean, and the American South. It has X-shaped sides and a sling seat and a back made of leather, cane, or wood slats, similar to a planter's chair, but without the extended arms. Cantilever chair, has no back legs for support. Its seat and back cantilevered off the front legs. Captain's chair, was originally a low-backed wooden armchair. Today the term is often applied to adjustable individual seats in a car with armrests. Cacciatore, also known as a conversion chair, used in the European Renaissance, was developed for women because it was wider, so women's fashions at the time could fit into it. This is demonstrated by the U-shaped arms. Car chair, a car seat in which an automobile in which either the pilot or passenger sits, customarily in the forward direction. Many car chairs are adorned in leather or synthetic material designed for comfort or relief from the noted stress of being seated. Variants include a toddler's or infant's car seat, which are often placed atop an existing chair and secured by way of extant seat belts or other such securing articles. Carver chair, similar to a Brewster's chair and from the same region and period. Cathedra, a bishop's ceremonial chair. Chasse a Borau, a Rococo-style chair created during the first half of the 18th century, constructed so it could sit in the corner of a room. There's one leg directly in the back and one directly in the front, and one leg on each side. Chasse lounge, French for lounge chair, a chair with a seat long enough to completely support its user's legs. In the US, it is often mistakenly referred to as a chaise lounge, similar, if not identical to, a daybed, fainting couch, or resiamaire. Chesterfield chair, a low club-style chair with a fully buttoned or tufted interior, typically made of leather. Chiavari chair, designed in 1870 by the Giuseppe Gaetano di Salsi of Chiavari in Italy. The chair is lightweight, has elegant lines, yet is strong, practical, and easy to handle. Club chair, a plush, easy chair with a low back. The heavy sides form armrests that are usually as high as the back. The modern club chair is based upon the club chairs used by the popular and fashionable urban gentlemen's clubs of 1850s England. Cogswell chair, a brand of upholstered easy chairs. It has a sloping back and curved and ornamental front legs. The armrests are open underneath. Corner chair, made to fit into a corner, has a rectangular base with a high back on two adjacent sides. One sits with legs straddling a corner of the base. Some sources claim this design was to accommodate a man wearing a sword. Curial chair was a folding cross-frame seat that developed theoretic significance in Republican Rome. The shape of its legs was revived in Empire style. Dante chair, similar to Savonarola chair with a more solid frame and a cushioned seat. Deck chair, a chair with fabric or vinyl back and seat that folds flat by scissors action around a traversal axis. The fabric extends from the sitter's feet to head. It may have an extended seat that is meant to be used as a leg rest and may have armrests. It was originally designed for passenger lounging while aboard ocean liners or ships. Dentist chair, a deeply reclining chair to allow the dentist easy access to the patient's mouth. The reclining position adjusts as well as the overall height of the chair. Associated with the chair are usually a variety of dental equipment, often including a small tap and sink for the patient to rinse his or her mouth. Dining chair, designed to be used at a dining table. Typically, dining chairs are part of a dining set where the chairs and table feature similar or complementary designs. The oldest known depiction of dining chairs is 7th century BCE bas relief of an Assyrian king and queen on very high chairs. Director's chair, a lightweight chair that folds side to side with a scissors action. The seat and back are made of canvas or a similar strong fabric, which bears the user's full weight and can be folded. The frame is made of wood or sometimes metal or plastic. The seat and scissors members work together to support and distribute the sitter's weight so that the seat is comfortably taut. The back is usually low, and the chair usually has armrests. The stereotypical image of a movie director on location includes one of these chairs, hence the name. Victor Papanek describes this chair as an excellent design in his book of Design for the Real World, as is simple and ideally suited to its function. The design goes back to its coffee maker's chairs of the 15th century and eventually to the Roman curial chair. Easy chair, large, soft, and very comfortable, usually upholstered. Eames lounge chair, a trademark for molded plywood chairs, contoured to fit the shape of a person. Egg chair, designed by Arne Jacobsen and resembles an egg or womb. Electric chair, a device for capital punishment by electrocution. A high-backed chair with arms and restraints, usually made of oak. Elijah's chair, a chair set aside for the prophet Elijah at Jewish circumcision ceremonies. A Mecco 1006, a durable aluminum chair originally developed for the U.S. Navy. Farthingale chair, an armless chair with a wide seat covered in usually high fabric and fitted with a cushion. The backrest is upholstered panel with legs that are straight and rectangular. It was introduced as a chair for ladies in the late 16th century and was named in England, probably in the 19th century, for its ability to accommodate the essentially wide hoop skirts of the fashionable of the time. Fauteuil, an open armchair with considerable exposed wood, originating in 18th century France. Fiddleback chair, a wooden chair of the Empire period, usually with upholstered sheet, in which the splat resembles a fiddle. Fighting chair is a chair on the boat used by anglers to catch large saltwater fish. The chair typically swivels and has a harness to keep the angler strapped in should the fish tug hard on the line. Folding chair. Collapses in the same way for easy storage and transport. Various folding chairs have their own names, e.g. jack chair, director's chair, but a chair described simply as a folding chair folds the rigid frame and seat around a transverse axis so that the seat becomes parallel to the back and the frame collapses with scissors action. Some further collapse the feet up to the back. Folding chairs may be designed to stack on top of each other when folded and may come with special trolleys to move stacks of folded chairs. Folded chairs are sometimes used in professional wrestling as weapons. Folded seat, a fixed seat on a bus, a tram, or a passenger car. Friendship bench, a special place in a school playground where a child can go when he or she wants someone to talk to. Gaming chair, legless, curved, L-shaped, generally upholstered, and sometimes contains built-in electronic devices like loudspeakers and vibration to enhance the video game experience. The 5 main types of gaming chairs are beanbag chairs, rockers, pedestals, racers, and cockpits. Garden egg chair, designed by Peter Gitschy and a modernist classic. Glastonbury chair, a wooden chair with a flat seat and sloping back. Glider, or platform rocker, offers the same motions as a rocking chair but without the dangers. A frame rests on the floor and a chair is supported by swing arms within the frame so that moving parts are less accessible. Hassock, an upholstered seat that is low to the ground and has no backrest. High chair, a children's chair to raise them to the height of adults for feeding. They typically come with a detachable tray so the child can sit apart from the main table. Booster chairs raise the height of children on regular chairs so they can eat at the main dining table. Some high chairs are clamped directly to the table and thus are more portable. Hanging egg chair, designed by Danish furniture designer Nana Ditzel in 1957. Inflatable chair, usually children's toys made of plastic. IKEA briefly marketed them as a serious furniture upholstered in fabric. Some are designed for use as floating lounge chairs in swimming pools. Ironing chair, a lightly built folding chair, usually with a metal frame and small bedded seat and either a minimal padded back or a simple tubular loop back. The chair is usually used as a perch, a support for carrying out an activity, such as ironing, by people with disabilities or back problems, but they are also popular with anyone requiring a light support chair for extended periods, such as observing through a telescope. Jack and Jill, similar to the Adirondack chair, but consists of 2 of them joined in the middle by a table. Jump seat, in an airplane. Kneeling chairs are knee-sit chairs, meant to support someone kneeling. This is purportedly better for the back than sitting all day. The main seat is sloped forward at 30 degrees, so the person would normally slide off, but there is a knee rest to keep the person in place. Knotted chair, designed by Marcel Wanders in 1995 and distributed in the Droog Design Collection. Ladderback chair, a wooden arm or side chair in which the horizontal elements of the back give the appearance of a ladder, typically described by the number of such elements. A 5-back, a 3-back on better examples. The width of these elements is graduated, wider to narrower, top to bottom. Lambing chair, a wood box form of winged armchair rarely having upholstery. Storage under the seat is common as a drawer compartment. Lawn chair, usually a light folding chair for outdoor use on soft surfaces. The left and right legs are joined along the ground into a single foot to make a broader contact area with the ground. Individual feet would otherwise dig into soft grass. Lifeguard chairs enable a lifeguard to sit on a high perch bench at the beach to better look for swimmers in distress. Lift chair, a powered lifting mechanism that pushes the entire chair up from its base, allowing the user to easily move to a standing position. Litter, also known as a sedan chair, a covered chair carried by people and used to transport others. Lewis Ghost chair, a transparent polycarbonate design by Philip Stark. Massage chair, it has electromechanical devices to massage the occupant. Another kind of massage chair is one used by a therapist on which the client sits in an inverted position with the back facing the massage therapist. There is a headrest like that of the common massage table for the face. Monoblock chair, a cheap, lightweight, stackable, weatherproof, easily cleaned, single piece of polypropylene chair designed for mass production via injection molding. Morris chair, a proprietary easy chair with an adjustable back, cushions, and armrest. Muskoka chair, another name for an Adirondack chair, particularly in Canada. Navy chair, a durable all-aluminum chair developed for the U.S. Navy. Number 14 chair, the most famous bent wood side chair originally made by the Thonet Chair Company of Germany of the 19th century and widely copied and popular today. Nursing chair, a low-seated, partially upholstered chair used in the Victorian times with emphasis on a woman breastfeeding an infant. Office chair, typically swivels, tilts, and rolls about on casters or small wheels. It may be very plushly upholstered in leather and thus characterized as an executive chair, or come with a low back and be called a steno chair. Office chairs often have a number of ergonomic adjustments: seat height, armrest height and width, and back reclining tensions. Orbiter, a brand of camera seat used by camera operators that swivels at low working height. ON chair has a padded and 3 dimension sitting arrangement, incorporates lateral movement to standard office chair heights and reclining positions. Ottoman, a thick cushion used as a seat or low stool or as a rest for the feet of a seated person. Ovalia egg chair, similar to the ball chair but egg-shaped, designed by Henrik Thor Larsen in 1968. Oneat chair, a chair which is also a set of steps and an ironing board. Panton chair, a one-piece plastic chair by Danish designer Werner Panton. Papasan chair, a large rounded bowl-shaped chair with an adjustable angle similar to that of a futon. The bowl rests in an upright frame made of sturdy wicker wood, originally from the Philippines. Parsons chair, curving wood chair named for the Parsons School of Design in New York, where it was created and widely copied today. Patio chair, any outdoor chair meant for use on a hard surface, contrast with lawn chairs, designed so as not to collect water and dry quickly after rain. Peacock chair, a large wicker chair with a flared back, originating in the Philippines, also an exaggerated Windsor chair designed by Hans Wegner. Pew, a bench in a church. Pew stacker chair, a stackable chair used primarily by churches that allows chairs arranged in rows to be linked together in such a way that the seats and backs form a bench or pew-like feel and appearance. Planter's chair, wooden chair with stretchable arms to rest the legs. Powang, a flat backpack cantilevered bent wood armchair manufactured and marketed by IKEA, with more than 30 million made since its introduction in 1978 and 1.75 million sold annually. Foofback chair, similar to an oversized beanbag chair filled with urethane foam. Porter's chair, a chair placed near the entrance of a large house for use by a servant responsible for admitting visitors. Potty chair, often abbreviated simply as a potty, a training toilet for children. In pre-indoor plumbing times, this was a chair beneath the seat of which a chamber pot was installed. Portuguese chair, metal outdoor armchair originally developed by the Portuguese furniture company Attico in the 1930s as the 5008 chair, becoming a symbol of Portuguese cafe culture. The Gonçalo chair, designed by Gonçalo Rodrigues dos Santos in the 1940s, is one of the most famous derivatives of the 5008 chair. Buffet, furniture chair used as a footstool or low seat. Power chairs with responsive joystick controls in a tight turning circle for elderly or disabled people to move around a house. Pressback chair, a wooden chair of the Victorian period, usually of oak, into the crest rail and or splat of which a pattern is pressed with a steam press. Pushback chair, or stroller, a chair with wheels which usually folds for transporting an infant. Some countries, including the US, use stroller. Others, including the UK, use pushchair. Recliner, a chair with a reclining back. Most are armchairs and may come with a footrest that unfolds when the back is reclined. Red and blue chair, a chair designed by a Dutch architect and furniture designer Gerrit Rietveld. Restraint chair, a type of physical restraint used to prevent injury to themselves or others. Revolving chair, an older term for swivel chair. Rex chair, a foldable chair designed by Slovene designer Nico Craig in 1952. Ribbon chair, designed by Niels Benstein in 1975. This chair is on the display in the permanent collection at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Rocking chair, rocker, typically a wooden side chair or armchair with legs mounted on curved rockers so that the chair can easily sway back and forth. Sometimes the rocking chair is on springs or on a platform. A platform rocker to avoid crushing anything, particularly children's feet or pets' tails that get under the rockers. Rover chair, designed by Ron Arad. Rumble seat, Saddle chair uses the same principles in its design as an equestrian saddle, does not have a backrest, but is equipped with a chair base on casters and gas cylinder for adjusting the correct sitting height. The casters enable moving around and reaching out for, i.e., tools while sitting. Savonarola chair, a folding armchair dating from the Italian Renaissance. Typically constructed of walnut, is sometimes called an X chair. The Savonarola chair was the first important folding armchair created in the Italian Gothic Renaissance period. Sedan chair, an open or enclosed chair attached to twin poles for carrying. Using this form of transport, an occupant can be carried by 2 or more porters. Scalbello, from the Italian Renaissance and made of walnut, consisting of a thin seat back and octagonal seat, sometimes considered a stool, and was often placed in hallways. Shaker rocker, one of the several forms of a rocking chair, including side chairs made by shakers. Shaker tilting chair, allowed a person to lean back with the chair without slipping or scraping the floor. Shower chair, a chair which is not damaged by weather, sometimes on wheels, and is used as a disability aid in a shower, similar to a wheelchair that has no foot pads. Is waterproof and dries quickly. Side chair, a chair with a seat and back but without armrests, often matched with a dining table or used as an occasional chair. Sit-stand chair, normally used with the height of a adjustable desk, allows the person to lean against this device and be partially supported. Sling chair, a suspended free-swinging chair hanging from the ceiling. Slumber chair, an easy chair manufactured by C.F. Straight MFG Co. in the first half of the 20th century, has a combination upholstered back and seat portion, the inclination of which is adjustable within a base frame. Later versions of that chair had a footstool with a removable top that could reveal a slipper compartment. Spinning chair, commonly used with computers due to its ability to move freely. Stacking chair, designed to stack compactly on top of each other to minimize storage space required. Steno chair, a simple office chair, usually without arms, meant for use by a secretarial or stenographer staff. Step chair, a chair which doubles as a small set of steps when folded out. Stool, a chair without back and armrests. Sweetheart chair, as used in soda shops, also known as a parlor chair and an ice cream chair for use in ice cream parlors. The wireframe in the center of the back curls in a manner to suggest a heart design, but the term sweetheart chair also has more generic usage and refers to any chair with heart-shaped design in the center of the back. Swivel chairs, swivel about a vertical axis, commonly used in offices, often on cantors. Tantra chair, for practicing the Kama Sutra. Tara chair, high-legged wooden chair designed to encourage raised conversation between people, popular first in San Francisco and now in Los Angeles. Tete-a-tete chair, also known as a courting bench, a type of settee consisting of 2 connected chairs which allowed 2 people to sit facing one another. Throne, a ceremonial chair for a monarch or similar dignitary of high rank. Toilet chair, a disability aid attached to a normal toilet. Touffet, a low seat often used as a footrest, similar to an ottoman but shorter and with no legs. Tulip chair, designed by Eero Saarinen in 1956 and considered a classic of industrial design. Turn chair, or throne chair, or spindle chair, made of turned wood spindles by turners with the use of a lathe, rather than by joiners or carpenters. 2-slat posted rung shaving chair, made from green wood, rived and shaved with a draw knife rather than turned, made by Jenny Alexander. Visitors or reception chair, for use by a visitor to an office. Voyeurist chair, designed for sitting astride back to front with the top of the back padded for the occupant to lean elbows on. Wainscot chair, an unupholstered oak chair popular in 17th century colonial America. Watchman's chair, an unupholstered wooden chair with a forward slanted seat to prevent a watchman from falling asleep. Wassily chair, a tubular steel chair designed by Marcel Breuer. Wheelchair, a chair on wheels for someone who cannot walk or has difficulty walking. Wicker chair, made of wicker and is thus ventilated and useful under hot or humid conditions. Likewise, a cane chair. Wiggle chair, cardboard seating form designed by Frank Gehry in 1972. Windsor chair, a classic informal chair usually constructed of wood turnings that form a high-spoked back, often topped by a shaped crest rail, outward sloped legs, and stretchers that reinforce the legs. The seat is often saddled or sculpted for extra comfort, and some Windsors have shaped arms supported by short spindles. Wing chair, an unupholstered easy chair with large wings mounted to the armrests and enclosing head or torso areas of the body, originally designed to provide comfortable protection from drafts. A variant is the Queen Anne wing chair, writing armchair, the most compact rendition of a school desk. X chair, a chair with an X-shaped frame. Zaisu, a Japanese legless chair. Zigzag chair, designed by Jarrett Rietveld. Zero-gravity chairs, belong to Peter Opzock's Valen family, designed to reduce downward pressure on joints, giving a sense of weightlessness. I'm done. My throat hurts. It's 2:30 a.m. I did this all in one sitting. I have no water with me. That was very boring. I do think it was funny. I do think the there's some very funny text in there because Wikipedia just acts like an alien when it's trying to describe something. For example, high chair, a children's chair to raise them to the height of adults for feeding. Feeding is just such a weird term to use in that context. Just so many other examples of that. I'm absolutely exhausted. I hope you learned something about chairs. Bye.